your body is an incredible machine. It's evolved over millions of years to be able to walk, to run, to bend, to stretch, to twist, to turn. And your spine especially is magnificent in the way it's evolved and its strength and power. However, we don't always take care of our bodies properly. We take them for granted. And when that happens, we get injured. And I find myself now with my sciatic nerve massively flared up. And whilst I don't know exactly what I've done, I can take a good guess. So back in Christmas 21, well, in fact, big, long story, although I'm not going to drone on about it too long. 10, 11 years ago, I suffered a disc prolapse, L4, L5. I'd been doing some crazy boot camp workouts, insanity classes, instructing them and doing my pram power and everything else, and I really wasn't actually taking care of my body. I was beasting it. And to that end, I suffered this disc prolapse, had massive pain, had a huge amount of sciatica back then, although to be honest, if memory serves, nowhere near as painful as I have it right now. But anyway, so so basically that disc had trapped my sciatic nerve. Now back then I didn't know any better. My mindset was I just need to fix this as fast as I can and get back to doing my job. So the doc said, well, actually, if it's pressing on the sciatic nerve, the only thing we can do really is discectomy to basically, shave off some of the disc and take that pressure off the sciatic nerve. So I said, brilliant, right, when can you fit me in? I got a cancellation and I was basically operated on Christmas Eve 2014. And they did warn me that I might suffer some back pain, but I thought, no, I won't. I'm invincible, I'm fine. I just want to get rid of the sciatica, because anyone who suffered sciatica knows how excruciating it is. So I had that surgery, and sure enough, sciatica went, but yeah, back pain did kick in. And but over the years, I've kind of managed it. I've had good times and bad times. Sometimes have been really bad. And to be fair, I haven't really, I guess, treated it with the respect it deserved and focused specifically on building my back up. And I've been very chaotic in my training, doing lots sometimes, not doing so much sometimes, sort of running and swimming and working out and things. But my training has been very chaotic because I just love doing so many things, but I haven't really focused on my back. But, I've done what I've wanted to do and it's been okay. And then in Christmas 21, I suffered another disc prolapse. I knew it straight away when it happened. It was absolute agony. And long and short of it, I did a private MRI just because I just wanted to know what was going on. And the NHS just was like, oh yeah, you've got a disc prolapse. But that time I wasn't getting any sciatica, but I knew that the disc had prolapsed. I was getting a great deal of back pain. So basically that MRI, I took it to a coach, actually, a fitness coach, but who was a specialist in back stuff. Took the MRI to him, and he showed me that what happened on that one is the disc had prolapsed. So it was L5S1 on that one, so the disc below the one that went before. And the disc had basically come out, but it'd gone up behind my vertebrae. So it's really strange. He said it was quite rare, but he had seen it a couple of times, but not many, where the disc had squeezed out between the vertebrae, and rather than going out and hitting the sciatic nerve, it had sort of squeezed out and gone up behind the vertebrae. So almost like an L shape, very bizarre. So that's what I've been dealing with for the last year or so. But I've kind of realised that you have to, when you're listening to your body, you're basically listening to those pain signals. And I thought, I've been taking it easy, but I've been doing lots of back workouts. This guy then gave me a load of back specific stuff to do, and I've been working out, and I was starting to feel really strong. and capable. And I started doing a bit of running, and over the past, so when was that, a year and a half ago, getting back to back stuff, again being a little bit chaotic with my training, but it's been doing okay. And then been sticking with those back exercises, but as my back felt stronger, I kind of dropped them off again and started getting back into running and starting to do some other things, and kind of dropping those back exercises a little bit and doing other things. And then a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago, I started to get twinges of sciatica. Nothing much, but just a little fluttering down my leg. And so I kind of started to get back into the back routine, the back exercises, getting quite consistent with it. And then I started to leap, as I tend to when I start to feel strong again, start to feel good again, is that I took a giant leap. Well, not a giant, it was quite a big leap, and started to do some other things. And I did a couple of exercises where I was bending too much, flexing too much, flexing quite a lot actually on some of them, and following a program that probably I wasn't listening to my body properly and doing too much. And that sciatica really started to kick off again. So I kind of went back to doing my back exercises. The sciatica was kind of getting steadily worse and worse. And this week I did a lot of driving, spent 3 hours in a car sitting down. My back felt okay. Got up the following day, did my back exercises. In fact, it was the one I recorded from the hotel this week. And the following morning felt okay, and then I had to sit down in a meeting for an hour and a half, and I literally could not sit down. I was in absolute agony. So I was delivering for the rest of the day. I was standing up all day. I was feeling absolutely fine. Well, I wasn't feeling fine, but I was feeling okay. So I was standing up. I was doing some Give It 10 stuff. I was delivering to some fantastic people, and the day went well, but I had to drive back for 3 hours back home from that event, sitting down, and I got in the car and I was like, holy crap, my sciatic just kicked off like you read about. And the following 3 hours driving, because I knew I had to get home because the snow was forecast, and I just wanted to get back, was the most agonizing 3 hours of my life. I was literally, the air was blue in the car. You've never known anything like it. I was swearing like you read about, shouting and screaming in the car, stopping every sort of half an hour just to kind of take the pressure off, give myself a little bit of relief, and then get back in the car and going again. I got home, was in absolute agony. Figured that if I went to bed and lay down, it would help. But after 4 hours of rolling around in bed in absolute agony and not being able to find a single comfortable position, I woke my husband up, who'd actually was sleeping in the other room, because I told him there was a good chance I probably wouldn't sleep very well. But I woke him up in agony on the floor at 2:00 in the morning, and he took me to casualty. Eventually, after 6 hours in casualty, I got some, they gave me some diazepam when I was there, and then I got some, I've got some gabapentin, which is some like nerve stuff. And I am back to square one, if you like. Now, what I think has happened is where that disc protruded out and went up, I'm hoping and thinking that all the back exercises I've been doing, that the disc has started to sort of come back down again, and actually is on its kind of way back to where it should be. But because it's kind of slipped back from that L shape, I think it's now at a position directly behind the vertebrae, and that's where it's pushing on the sciatic nerve. Now, I won't know unless I have an MRI, and I'm hopefully going to push for an MRI through the NHS to see what's happening. But in my head, I think, and I'm hoping I haven't prolapsed another disc. I don't think I have, because the pain hasn't presented. That initial prolapse pain hasn't presented at all. I think that disc has kind of come back down and is now pushing on the sciatic nerve. Now, what I know about disc prolapses since the first time is that you can actually rehab them without surgery. Not always, but a lot of the time. And there's some great, fantastic articles written, and if anyone wants the one in particular that talks about this, I can send it to them. I've sent it to quite a lot of people actually, and it said it's really changed their lives. That you can actually, ultimately, as I said, the body has evolved over millions of years to be very very capable and very strong, and it's evolved with this disc matter that actually you need. So when you have a discectomy and cut away some of that disc matter, obviously you kind of reduce the size of that disc and are going to get back problems because the vertebrae can potentially rub together or disintegrate, and cause for further problems and arthritis and all sorts of stuff around the area. But the articles I've read since has said that if you rehab it properly, ultimately that disc I say this isn't always the case, and some people do need discectomy surgery, but that disc matter can sometimes, if you do the right exercise, be encouraged back in between the vertebrae, and then you work on your strength around that area to basically pack it with muscle, if you like, to strengthen it so much that the disc doesn't re-prolapse. So for this second one, I'm going to try my very best to really get my back super, super strong, but take it super, super slowly to get it back to where it needs to be, and really work on strengthening my back without rushing ahead, because this is what I've been doing all the time. The minute I start to feel better, I rush ahead too much and don't take it slowly to improve that strength. So I'm back on this journey again. So Give It Tens, I will continue to do Give It Tens. I'll continue to try and do videos. So this is today's video. Just shouting out to anyone who suffers back pain and sciatica, because it is the most excruciating pain. I've literally been crying out this week, and not that I want to harp on about it, but it is excruciating pain, and I'm still in a huge amount of pain just lying here. So at the moment, basically sciatic nerve sort of starts from the spine, and there's lots of little roots, if you like, that go between, I think it's L3 to S1 or 2. I think it's L3 to S1. You've got these roots that basically then go into the sciatic nerve, and the sciatic nerve itself is 3 nerves that are bound together in a like a sheath, if you like. It's about the size. I didn't realise, I just did do some research yesterday. The sciatic nerve is about 2 centimetres thick, so it's pretty thick because it's that sheath bound with a couple of nerves that then kind of goes down, goes through through your glute muscles, like underneath the piriformis. So a tight piriformis can cause sciatica as well, because that's a really deep nerve in your butt, muscle in your butt. So the sciatic nerve kind of goes underneath that, if you like, and then comes out down the back of the thigh, the back of the knee, the back of the calf, and then all these kind of roots then kind of come out. There's other roots that come out when at the back of the knee, it kind of splits again, and there's a load of roots that come down and then kind of go into your foot, and there's all sorts of issues going on with your foot as well. So my big toe keeps collapsing, and I quite often, if I'm in bare feet, I trip over it, because that's the compression in my L5-S1 that causes that toe to flop, if you like. It's really weird, and then I kind of trip over it, and then it's it's crazy. But like they say, quite often where the pain is and the stuff happens is not where the issue is. So even though that's happening down here on my toe, I know that the issue is my L5-S1. And the sciatic, even though the pain is all in the back of my leg, I know that the issue is probably that L5-S1, probably a little bit of the L3, L4, L5 as well. So I was going to lead on to say something else then about the sciatic. It'll come back to me. But anyway, so yeah, back to the rehabbing and back to rehabbing my back. And at the moment, I say that, I was going to talk about the pain as well. So the pain, the lower it is, what the idea is when you're trying to rehab the sciatic is you want to sort of get the pain sort of to come. If it's down here, you want to sort of try exercises and try movements and try positions that starts to bring the pain back up, and you want to start to centralize the pain back to your lower back, and then work on kind of rehab from there, if you like. So I've been trying to get into positions this week that have moved the pain from my calf up from that. I've had a lot of pain in the back of my knee and my calf, but now I'm feeling the pain here, and depending on the position I'm in, it starts to come back up to my butt cheek. So I know then that I'm kind of working on it well. And one of the things I've been doing is lying face down on the floor. That's too painful to lie flat, so I've been using these cushions under my hips, quite high. So I'm got them under my hips, so I haven't got a big arch in my back. My back's quite flat. And then gradually over the next few days, I'm going to be taking those pillows away till hopefully I can lie flat on the floor. But at the moment, I need those pillows. If anyone, there's a great link, a good video on YouTube I found. I'm sure if you research it, you can find it yourself. But let me know if anyone wants that. So I'm kind of back to square one with my back rehab. And I will kind of log my journey here on these Give It 10 videos if anyone's interested. Obviously, don't forget, give it 10 seconds, 10 repetitions, 10 minutes. You guys go out there, do what you need to do. Take inspiration from some of the previous, my 60 odd videos that I've done up to now, are the kind of things you can do. Give It 10 going forwards is going to be a little bit more about my rehab and the sort of the Give It 10s that I'm doing to get my back back to strength, which involves literally at the moment is either just laying face down, laying on my side here, just not moving too much, because at the moment those pain triggers are quite extent. When I stand up, I just feel that pain sort of suddenly shoot all the way back down my leg again. So moving really slowly. I can't stand upright right now, so I'm walking around the house like an old woman, bent over double. But I am convinced, I am determined that that's not going to be my future. It still might be that down the line I might have to have a spinal fusion or something if this disc doesn't go back in. We'll see, but I'm determined that that's not going to be me. I'm going to try and rehab this properly and get my back to full strength. So that is why I haven't done videos in the past couple of days. That's my story just now, and happy to talk to anyone who has questions about lower back pain and sciatica and stuff. But in the meantime, lots of love to you all. Keep doing those Give It 10s, and that's where I am in my journey just now. Right, that's me for today. I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. Cheers.